Conquest. The war has raged for years, and Achilles raids small villages for supplies to feed the Greek army.
Sure does.
Alright, so those of you not...
Years passed,
never mind.
but the walls of Troy stood firm and impregnable. The long stalemate took a toll on the Greeks, hungry for promised treasure and glory. Among them Achilles, the greatest of all warriors, king of the Myrmidones, son of the nymph Thetis. Rather than standing idle under the invincible Trojan walls, he led his men against neighboring towns and cities, which fell to his sword like weeds to a scythe. In 3 years, Achilles conquered 12 cities, which he claimed and plundered, begrudgingly sharing the loot with Agamemnon. Everything changed the day he came to the outskirts of Lyrnessos.
I'm sure there's gonna be some exposition.
Achilles, look. Lyrnessos. Their warehouses are full of grain.
Let's just take what we need and not dally among farmers.
Okay, so those of you not familiar...
They said these lands belong to the son of the goddess Aphrodite.
Will he fight alone, or bring his mother along?
Okay, so those of you not familiar with the review...
This is not the way to Lyrnessos. We must hurry back.
Shut up, dude. You read the review, and then you critique the critiquer.
That's true. So I read the review in the last episode, and now apparently I'm going to critique the critiquer, and I have no idea how long it'll be since the last episode that you will be seeing this episode, so you probably will have forgotten the entire review by then.
I'll try to upload them pretty simultaneously.
Okay. So let's see. Most repetitive, boring, tedious hack and slasher I've ever played. I don't know. I mean, you're actually playing as as all the different characters, so you're not just playing one character over and over and over again. So I do think that actually makes it a little less repetitive. But I guess, your miles may vary.
No, with like Dynasty Warriors 5, like when you played Blue Boo, you had to go through like almost every level in that whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't, die when he's supposed to die.
Right.
So,
but
like the first time I played through it on hard, it was like, it was long. Like,
I mean, there's also like 8 characters in this game, as opposed to like the 50-something characters in the average Dynasty Warrior. So I don't know. I think you can play this game and be done with it without it being nearly as repetitive. And I do think that there is a bit more strategy in the combat in this game.
Like running away to heal.
Anyways, continuing. Instead of boring you with details, because, that's what makes a review, I found the story to be completely pointless. Well, I found your review to be completely pointless. I mean, I don't know how you find the Trojan War to be a completely pointless story. It is one of the most famous stories in Western civilization.
He probably didn't like history class.
Yeah, well,
that was neat.
But, apparently the Three Kingdoms isn't pointless to him, so whatever. Also, this person played the 360 version, which means that they are European. They should know about the Trojan War.
Maybe that's why he said it was pointless, because he already knew about it.
Maybe. No context between the characters you play as. Would you agree with that? It sounds to me like they're telling us the context all the time. Like, every moment of exposition is telling you who these people are and why
you should care about them.
And, why they're involved. So, nope, don't believe that either. Voice acting is just awful.
It's Koei game.
Yeah. We've been talking about that plenty.
This is not the way to Lyrnessos. We must hurry back.
But that narrator is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy needed a raise.
Yeah, I will agree. The voice acting is not that great, except for the narrator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Cleos. Most fun I had was when I turned off the game thinking of Splatterhouse, which I didn't much like either. Well, you're weird.
He says he doesn't like Splatterhouse, and then for the whole rest of the review, he's like, go play Splatterhouse, 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 Splatterhouse.
Yeah, he compares a lot of this to Splatterhouse.
I never played Splatterhouse. I wanted to, but they didn't PC port it.
Yeah.
Which they should have.
But yeah, that was just ridiculous, so whatever. Whatever. Granted, the game has some positives, like the guy who worked on it. It works. Yep, it works. Enemy numbers on the screen are okay for my standards. Well, I'm happy that the number of enemies meet his standards.
I don't even know. What are your standards?
Apparently this, because, you know, it meets it. Technically, Legend of Troy has unresponsive and utterly dull AI. I don't know, man. If they're unresponsive and utterly dull, then unresponsive and utterly dull are wrecking the hell out of Scarlet. So,
I think what he means are the general enemies, like these guys.
yeah, but you know what? You've gotten like stabbed in the back by like the spear guys
Yeah.
a bunch. And the archers are pretty good, and I love that response of them like putting their bows away and pulling out their swords.
But I mean, again, it's...
and when they freak the hell out when you do finishers, like I think that's still a pretty good response.
Well, I mean, again, it's a Koei game. If all these guys were attacking me at once, there's
You'd be
no
dead.
way you could do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you're meant to feel heroic. Like that is kind of one of the Koei axioms for Warriors games. Is, you know, in one versus many, you still feel like a total badass.
Yeah.
And I think you can't make all of the rank and file nukes awesome if you're meant to feel like a badass. But I think the duels feel really good. I think, you know, like a lot of the guys, like I feel like the elite guys definitely react to how you fight. I'm a little biased.
You're supposed to have low bias.
But, I don't know. So that's my thoughts on it. There are all kinds of technical mishaps and glitches to unearth. I mean, that's
Every game.
Yeah, every game has glitches to unearth. It's not easy making glitchless games.
Is there a glitchless game?
Probably.
Pong, maybe?
Maybe. But
Bonk.
yeah.
Yeah. Get him with the
Look,
throw.
Achilles, it's Aeneas. Be wary. There stands the son of an Olympian.
Achilles, king of the Myrmidons.
Yeah, I did this guy.
Why do you harm the people of this land? They have done you no harm.
He was my first
Allied
boss.
themselves against history. A grievous mistake.
Oh, there you go. Now it's half and half.
History is yet to be made, Achilles.
Oh. Was that the whole review?
No. I just got distracted by cutscene.
Ah.
Hell, perhaps one of the worst parts of the game are the parts where you power up. Which I assume when he says power up, he means the rage, not like leveling up and stuff.
Well, as far as I can tell, there's no actual, like, level up.
Well, I mean like buying equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I
I
mean,
think
like, in Dynasty Warriors, you actually level up.
Yeah, well, yeah, you do. I don't remember if you always leveled up in Dynasty Warriors.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I guess you always did. Like, you always got some stat gain just by playing, and then like all those like swords and shields that you picked up that increased your gauges were just gravy.
Yeah. And then in 3, you had to be, like, level 10 to even get on a horse.
Yeah, or certain horses, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so when you parts where you power up, instead of being a good thing as you slash away at foes DW style, you're vulnerable to losing health, detracting from the power you're supposed to have. I mean, it is not Muso, which like Muso means like unrivaled or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it is rage, and you can get hurt while you're raging. And there is or fury. I think actually, well, maybe it's fury, but whatever. but I mean, there are items that negate that.
Yeah.
I mean, there definitely were fights about that sort of stuff, like, you know, arguments over that, over whether
Should
it
you be
have done
invincible?
that. And you know, we were trying to make it that it's a more strategic game. We wanted this to be kind of like the thinking man's Muso, or you know, thinking man's Warriors game. And you know, we still dumbed down a lot of it because Japan kept telling us.
Ah! What the hell was that? QuickTime events?
Yep.
What?
QuickTime events were still cool back when we made this game.
I'm dead here, but
I don't know. You might recover.
I don't gain health.
I know, no, I mean, but like you're doing decently.
And all of Dardania.
I don't know. I think the rage is fine. I mean, yeah, it would be a lot cooler or a lot easier if I was invincible while I was doing it. But you still feel... Fuck.
You still feel like a badass.
You still feel strong when you do it, yeah.
Yeah.
That item is totally helping, though. I can feel that right off the bat.
Could you?
Yeah. Like, that was a good get. Dude.
Right,
chill.
When you do power up, there just isn't a sense that the blood fits in. I mean, you're
typically killing people in like 1 to 2 hits, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be like you're just wrecking face, and blood is splattering on the camera. Sure, it adds to the carnage, but it's just showing off when you consider it's basically ripping off Splatterhouse and plastering DW veneer on it.
When did Splatterhouse come out?
Weren't there multiple Splatterhouse games?
Well, yeah, but it would be the last one, the reboot. Because the original Splatterhouse is not what he's talking about, trust me. The TurboGrafx games are not what he's talking about. I've played them, they are hard, and they are nothing like this.
2010, so it was like the year before. We were well into development by then.
Yeah, I don't think your average gamer understands how long it takes to make a game.
Right. And also, I don't know if anyone on our team was playing Splatterhouse, because that definitely never had come up. We just wanted it to... Like, this was like one of the first Koei games with blood in it. I think...
yeah, there's still no blood in Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, and Fist of the North Star had blood in it. Like Fist of the North Star Muso, but...
So that's Fist of the North Star, you kind of need blood.
Yeah. And that was actually something that was like...
Highly debated.
When in Japan, they were debating, like, do we want to put blood in it? Because that's not what we usually do for Warriors games. We don't kill, we defeat. Anyways.
My rage is better than yours!
Just don't buy Legends of Troy, otherwise you'll experience the most derivative action game, which runs parallel with movie cash-ins. Like, yeah, that's not true at all.
When did the movie come out? Like 08, right?
The movie was 2004.
Movie cash-ins, and this came out
7 years later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we were trying to
When
come
did
up
Europe get the movie? Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, the thing is that, like, the only real movie tie-in was the fact that we just really liked that jump slash thing that they had Brad Pitt do. So we put it in our game. Other than that, everything we did based off of like researching, like doing a lot of research on the actual myths. Like, we had people who were reading the Iliad, we had people reading the Aeneid. Like, we tried to get as much information as we could.
The game doesn't go that far, though, does it?
The game? I mean, the game goes to the fall of Troy.
Yeah, so you don't go, like, all...
No, but the Aeneid has its own perspective on the Trojan War. So,
Right.
based off of this guy, Aeneas. So, spoilers, he's not going to die right now.
Uh-oh.
And I mean, to call a video game that is based on literature derivative, it's like, well, obviously it's derivative.
There we go. There we go.
Like, that's... But, like, just because it's derivative doesn't mean it has to be bad.
Okay.
It just means it has to be derived from something. Like, most modern media are derivative.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You gonna shout again, man?
He might have been tired.
Yeah. I realized that after a while, but then I was scared because I didn't know when the cooldown was.
Yeah.
Didn't he say something about the controls too?
I can't help but recommend Splatterhouse or even GW. Just play a hack and slash for some depth and leave this diseased corpse where it lies.
DW doesn't really have any depth.
Yeah.
If you want depth in a Koei game, I mean, this one's pretty good so far from what I've seen. But
Thank you.
Samurai Warriors was
That's where it's at.
far more story and everything than Dynasty Warriors. Especially with the mission maps and everything.
Well, I mean, the reason I feel like this is like where this succeeds over
Hold on.
over Murder the Running.
Cowards! I will roll up to you and kill you all.
Like, one of the reasons why I feel like this does actually a better job of telling this story is because it's linear and we don't give you the ability to choose your characters.
I'm not wasting time, I'm killing people.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you're expected to do every level with every character in Dynasty Warriors, it makes it harder for it to tell a cohesive story. But in this, we put the perspectives exactly where they need to be to tell both sides of the story in a way that makes sense. I mean, would we have liked to have been able to do, like, 5 stages for each character and stuff? Sure. But that's not how that works. I think it was like 3 characters for each of the main, or 3 stages for each of the main characters, and then 1 stage each for the 2 special characters.
Achilles, we must take the center of the city, but we must not forget
Oh my god.
stored in the granaries.
So lead spearmen are like better hunters, I believe. Oh wait, no, it's just a captain with a spear. Never mind.
No, he's dead. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he only had 1 spear. Never mind. I do believe there are leveled up versions of the elites.
Ow. Oh god. I need health.
Blue warrior needs health badly. So, I mean, as someone who's playing the game right now, what do you think? Do you think my review is accurate, or do you think that he has more merit than I'm giving him credit for?
I think the guy was like me and put it on hard and died a lot. And got very frustrated.
Or he put it on normal or easy and
He
just
just sucks.
thought it was. Well, no, he just thought it was simple.
That could be. I could see that too. Depends on how easy you made normal.
It's definitely a lot easier. You probably would not have died on the Patroclus fight.